Alright guys, after, well, you've seen my other videos, after trying to get the pinion gear off the bottom unsuccessfully, trying to take everyone's initial advice, well, different suggestions that were given to me, but one of the initial ones was get a bearing splitter and try to, take it off from the top way. Haven't tried it yet. I just bought this set from Harbor Freight. I had a friend who let me borrow one, but we didn't have all the pieces. And then also I, checked AutoZone, checked Napa, and neither one of them could loan me these or rent these. None of them carried it. So push comes to shove, I just went and bought one at Harbor Freight. I have a few other Sears tractors that I'm going to work on, so I'll probably need them then. So this will be on my attempt. It's basically a gear puller, but has a full extension or full clearance around it, rather than just the 3 fingers like on the gear pull. These splitters, go fully around your, steering wheel. So let me get this set up, and then we'll attempt it. Alright, YouTube, well, I tried the bearing splitter on the steering wheel for 2 weeks, at least 2 or 3 weeks, throwing liquid wrench, PB blaster on it, left the bearing splitter on it, hit it with a hammer, no movement whatsoever. Actually started deforming the steering wheel, which was not a good thing, but 0 movement. And I can't put any heat to it, obviously, because it's going to melt the steering wheel. So this is probably the biggest pain in the ass job I've ever done. So, and to some extent it's all my fault, because I should have just left it and tried to do a workaround, but I am where I am. So my next attempt is to go back down on this side where I've told you I've scraped off or tried to buzz off a lot of the pinion gear and try to break the weld. Well, now I'm going to try a bearing splitter on this end and see what happens. So let me set it up and see what happens. Alright, got it set up. Let's give it a go. Basically ground off a 1/4 of an inch on this. Alright, YouTube, well, my patience is not one of my virtues. So tried, here we are, maybe 3 or 4 weeks later after my initial part of this video, trying to use the splitter and nothing's working. So I plan on using a 4-inch cutoff wheel to take it off now. Alright, so taking an ultra thin one, I'm just going to cut off it and then figure out what to do then afterwards. Done. So, yeah, you can see that faint outline, but literally, as you can see, all the wrap marks, and I've basically taken this thing, you know, in half, and it would not separate whatsoever. So, oh well. Yeah, you can see the line, and I can't tell you how many times I've wailed on it. You know, this thing used to be 1 inch thick, so I've taken that much off, and it still didn't want to break despite having that seam right there. So I have to try it, you know, have to try different things sometimes, and you know, sometimes a brute force is what you need. Let's get it up right now. Oh, are you kidding me? Let me stop the video and figure out what's going on. Alright, got it off. Well, whatever this is, I don't know if it's a bearing sleeve. It's stuck on it. I'll have to tap it off and see what happens. But, you know, it was basically slamming on this bearing, so when I was pulling it up, it hit this. So I basically just, you know, brute force pulled it out, slammed it out, so pulled out the brass one. So I don't know if this is another one from the bottom, but I don't see another one in the, well, I'll have to go check, I'll have to go look, see if there's another one of these in the bottom of the shaft that the wheel goes through. So it's kind of weird. Now I gotta figure out how to get this off in order to get this off. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just try to, I'll put the whole steering wheel, as you can see, never budged with the bearing splitter and hitting it with a hammer. I'll go put this in my 20-ton press and try to get it out. Bye for now.